Good evening, Springfield. Welcome to the August 11th, 2025 Township of Springfield Planning Board meeting. Adequate notice has been given in accordance with the Sunshine Laws. Notice was published on July 17, 2025 in the local source, which is the official newspaper of the Township of Springfield, and posted in the Annex building on the following day, July 18, 2025. Let's do a salute to the flag, please.
Pledge
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. Let's do a quick roll call before we start the meeting. Ms. Law, would you mind taking a roll call for us?
Mayor Rich Huber is calling me right now, so after I do this roll call, I'll call him.
Yeah.
Committeeman Alex Kaiser,
Present.
Mr. David Barnett,
Here.
Mr. Aaron Laufer, Mr. Richard Cedarquist.
Richard's here. He's here. Say yes.
Yeah, I see him. I
Okay.
think he's muted. Miss Julie Tomeo, Mr. Scott Wishna,
Present.
Vice Chair Sharon Kessel,
Here.
and Chairman Tiger.
Yes. And for the record, Ms. Law, Julie and Aaron have excused absences. They reached out, had some conflicts, so I'll just make sure the record reflects that they're excused. We'll wait for Mr. Huber before doing the application, but for the first thing we have is Resolution 6-2025-S, Dundar Management Group LLC, 3 Dundar Road, Block 3903, Lot 9. This was for a minor site plan variance for the shed. The board recalls they came before us for a shed. They couldn't plant trees. There was a certain amount of money being put in the tree replacement escrow fund to be able to plant trees throughout the township. I think that was the only condition. The resolution should be on the board on our Google Drive. Anyone had any questions or concerns regarding that? Seeing none, I'd like someone to make a motion to approve the resolution, and someone second it.
So moved, Barnett.
Second.
We have a roll call. Ms. Law, you're on mute.
Was it second? I'm sorry, Mr. Tiger. Was it second?
By Committeeman Kaiser.
Oh, sorry. I just didn't hear it. My apologies.
I'll just say yes since I'll go first anyway.
Thank you. Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
I have Mayor Huber on the phone right now. We're going to try and rectify his situation. Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cedarquist?
Yes.
Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
Vice Chair Kessel?
Yes.
And Chairman Tiger?
Yes. And then
Okay.
obviously let the record reflect that Mayor Huber joined at 6:32, 6:33.
Right.
Perfect. Okay, so our only application this evening is application 7-2025-S, which is Scoop of Joe, 9 South Springfield Avenue, Block 1402, Lot 9. This is for a minor site plan variance for an ice cream shop with seating. So it's a conditional, the ice cream shop is granted. It's been open for about a month and a half right now. And what they're coming before us is to put some seating, not additional, to put some seating inside the ice cream shop. And the issue is it's a parking variance. Mr. Disco, do you want to give a quick overview of, I know you've done some work and then some review of the parking, and then let's get the applicant up to give some information.
Yeah, well, any restaurant that has seating is a conditional use and requires the board appearance, so that's why they're here. So we analyzed parking from a historical basis from Google Earth imagery going back to 95 or whatever. And then since the application's been known over the last couple of months, we've been doing in-person parking observations. And so the application for this tenant space can work with the prevailing parking that's going on for the other 3 tenants in the multi-tenant building. So that's historically based and also based upon the recent in-person observation. So one of the conditional use requirements is, does the parking work? And the answer is it's going to work. It has been working as they've been open. If you look at the tables we provided, we did do some weekend and weekday use, midday, evening hours, and there's really no period that we've seen yet where parking is going to be taxed to the point that this is not going to work. Mind you, that the parking, obviously, ice cream is going to be probably non-existent in the winter or very diminished. The ice cream use is probably a use that meets well with the other uses. It's compatible because it's a weekend use, it's an evening use, when the other offices are for the most part closed already. So I don't really see an issue with the parking. We're just jumping through the hoop that the conditional use requires us to do to analyze it.
Okay, let's Apu, let's bring in the attorney from the other side and any of their witnesses. But as you're doing that, one thing I want to bring up for any of the public that has been before this, obviously, there's been a lot of surrounding things that the planning board has canceled meetings and not have been trying to get this application done. You know, this board's charged with making sure that we're doing the best we can to make sure that when businesses come in, that they're following the ordinances and that we're designing sites to make sure that it has no adverse effects on additional residents, homeowners, and businesses and so forth. For the record, this application, I think, was submitted sometime in April or May, and we've been trying to get it on the meeting in May, June, July. I know there were some issues with noticing, availability of attorneys, but for the record, the planning board has been ready and willing, begging really, because we want this to be a successful business in town. If we can make this work from a parking variance thing. So that for the public's, anyone public on this, you know, I know there's been lots of discussion out there of that the planning board's been canceling meetings, not seeing them, township committee trying not to give them seating, whatever. So far from the truth. Everyone's united to try to help businesses, assuming we can make them work within the confines of the land use laws. So, Counselor, Mrs. Wolf, if you want to give a quick statement, you heard what Mr. Disco had to say about the site. So if you could just give an opening statement, bring on your witness, the owner of the site. She could talk a little bit about, you know, that she's been operating for the past 6 weeks, how it's been with parking and how many seats she needs and her hours. And I think that's pretty much what the board would want to hear.
Excellent. Yes, I think Mr. Disco provided a great overview and it basically summarizes all I was going to say. So he stole my thunder a little bit, but it is operated by Johanny Jean Louise. I think she's present. I'm not sure if she's in the meeting yet, but hopefully we can promote her. And currently at the ice cream shop, there is no seating or benches or anything outside. So she was just hoping that she could get 8 seats to accommodate her existing patrons. She's not looking to expand per se. She's just looking to accommodate the existing people that already come. And as you said, the hours are very complimentary. Most of the other operations, for example, the Springfield Cuts for Kids, they close by 6. Hammer Dental Associates closes by 6. I couldn't find hours for Daniela Hoffer Interiors, but I'm guessing it's an office and they probably close at a reasonable time. And Miss Jean Louise's busiest hour is between 6 and 9. So as you already addressed it, it sounds like the parking can work. It is synergistic, and this would be a good use that would fit in with the other uses in the neighborhood.
Is she available? I'd love her to be on for a few minutes and just tell us a little bit about the business, and then we can open up to the board for some questions and concerns. This way,
Should be on. I can't see the list of participants to see if she's...
Is she able to raise her hand in the Zoom?
Oh, I think she's iPhone.
Gotcha. Okay, let's.
Johanny, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, guys. How are you today?
there she is. Perfect. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
What's the flavor of the day? That's what we want to know.
I'd probably say Nutella. Nutella is definitely the flavor of the day today.
All right. Well, I don't like Nutella, so
Sorry about that.
it's all good. So if you can raise your right hand and our attorney can swear you in, and then if
Yeah,
you have
sure.
a few questions, we can move forward.
Good evening. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth, is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Johanny, could you tell us when you opened?
We opened up on July 4th of this year. We've been open for about 5 weeks now.
Okay, and have you had any parking issues? Has anybody complained to you about parking?
None at all.
Okay, and what is your peak hour of operation?
I would say between 6 and 9 p.m. daily. All the businesses that are in my immediate surroundings are closed during that time.
And how many employees do you have?
We have 6 employees that are working at the Scoop of Joe location right now. 5 out of the 6 are all high school students that do not drive.
Understood. Excellent. So they are not parking on the site.
Correct.
And what about the other employee, the 6th one?
The 6th one is a young lady that'll come between my shop in Union and Scoop of Joe. Just somebody that's a little bit more seasoned if I need help, like a little bit more manpower on the busy days, like the weekends, like on a Sunday, I'll call her in to help. But she's the only one that is there that drives.
Understood. And when she comes on the weekends, none of the other businesses are open or have limited hours, correct?
Correct. The parking lot's empty. I think the only business that's open for half of the day is the hair salon.
Okay. And do you require any loading zones?
No, I actually get everything shipped to our Union location. I batch all my ice cream in Union. We just transport everything to Springfield for now. And it'll probably remain that way. I have
Okay.
the
And
space
just,
in my other location.
okay. And just to go through the conditional use standards, do you have an exhaust or do you need an exhaust?
No,
Okay.
to
Because
both.
you don't do any cooking, correct?
Correct. We do no cooking and we don't make any of the ice cream on site in Springfield. Everything is made in Union.
Right. And the second condition is the off-street parking, which we're working on discussing. And then do you have a grease trap?
Yes.
Excellent. And are you proposing to do any kind of liquor sales?
No.
Okay. And are you having any kind of live entertainment?
No.
Okay. So we meet the conditional use standards, but for the potential parking variance, but there is historical data to support that parking variance could be granted. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure if you had any other further questions from this?
No. We'll open up to the board for some questions or concerns. I think the one thing I'll bring up, one of the conditions that I believe will be of approval will be there's some garbage on the side of the building within, they can work with the township within 30, 45 days to get that cleaned up. I know they're working towards potentially building a park there. That's what the rumor is on the street. So if that does happen, some of that will work through, but that they would need to get rid of the garbage within 30 to, let's call it 30 days.
And Johanny, are you okay with that? Can you work with the landlord?
Absolutely. None of that garbage is mine, by the way. I bring all the garbage into the dumpster and it's picked up, I want to say, every couple of days. I think what's there is just some cardboard.
Yeah, I'm sure they can get rid of it. There's no, you know what? It was a great place for it when there was a lot of trees because no one saw it. Now that there's potentially something going to be there, then everyone can see it. So I think within 30 days, work towards getting your tables if the board approves it, but that a condition that the owner will have to do it. If the owner doesn't do it, then the zoning officer will work with them on that.
We'll work on that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, let me see if let me open up to the board with any questions. Ms. Kessel?
No question.
Mr. Wishna?
Just confirming, this is all indoor seating, right? We're not talking about outdoor seating.
Indoor.
Correct.
Okay.
Indoor.
It's not, what was the number, 8 seats?
Just 8, yes.
Okay, because there's not probably room for more than that. Okay, that's it. No other questions from me.
Richard?
No questions.
Mr. Barnett?
So this is for a parking variance, correct?
Yes.
So I have not heard what the parking requirement is and what's currently the current conditions.
Mr. Disco, do you want to bring up you want to address that? It's in the letter. It's in the letter that he put together.
All right, well, we should put that in
Sure.
the testimony, I guess.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there are 16 parking spaces on site for the multi-tenant building, which has 4 small tenant spaces. The retail parking standard is 1 per 200 square feet, which is what they're under right now and works with the other retail/office uses. Based upon the 8 parking spaces divided by 2.5 seats per space, you need 3.2 seats. So it's very comparable to the retail standard. If you take the other restaurant standard, which is area open to the public, which is 1 per 60 square feet, you get 5.3 spaces. So there's somewhere between 3.2 and 5.3. You go from 3.75 for retail use to 5.3 for restaurant use. We're showing historically that the 17 parking spaces is sufficient. Technically, if you added up all the component 4 tenants that are there, you would need 19 parking spaces. So this is what would call a paper variance, if it's a variance, but the parking is shown to work from a practical standpoint, a historical standpoint, and the observations that before and after opening of Scoop of Joe, there's nowhere near where we've reached 17 cars in that parking. I think the most we observed was 10 so far.
And this is the old adage of businesses that work at opposite times to make it work. Like the interior decorator, she's going to have by appointment only. You know, the dentist, more of the morning. Though I would argue that if the people are having so much ice cream, there may be more demand on the dentist, but that may end up be a different story. So just opposite demand is what's really making it work.
I go to that dentist. I park there all the time. And I like Nutella, by the way, too. So
I don't.
That's another reason the chairman's wrong. So question in terms of variance, because I know in some cases like variance stays with the property. So if this business is no longer there, does that variance stay with future?
So that's a good point.
Tenants?
Because we're doing opposite demand thing, we should say that the variance runs with this business, the tenant, and that we can take control over the site going forward. So that way, when anyone comes with the CO to switch occupancies, let's say the haircut place goes out and someone else goes in, then Mr. Disco will bring it back to the board for consideration. So good point, David. Mr. Burnett, we can add that in there.
Yeah, I think we have to do that. So right now there's no cooking being done. So things like a hood and everything isn't necessary. Is there some line, like for instance, if the applicant now starts to offer coffee, does that push them over the line to, well, now there's thing happening, or like where does that happen that now the numbers change because it's not just ice cream, it's coffee, and maybe it's some sandwiches in the morning or something like that, again, maybe made off site, but so I guess I have a concern about, and I've seen this, and we've all seen this on the board, that we agree to something now, and then that starts to change over time, and as the business changes, and winter's not a great time for ice cream, so maybe coffee and snacks, happen, and then there's a much higher, there's a much higher parking demand.
Mr. Disco, can you address that for the board?
I think it's a very valid point. I think what we planned on doing is obviously continue to monitoring the parking to see how it operates, how it functions with the 4 tenants there. If there's an intensification of use, again, it's either going to be a retail use or a restaurant use. If it's a significant operational change, hours of operation or longer sitting periods, those are all very valid points. Remember, we're asking for 8 seats. So the intensity, as Mr. Wishna mentioned, not going to be able to get a lot of seating in there. It seems like those are short-term visitors. They're not in there for a meal that's going to last an hour. I think ice cream's easy to prepare and gives to somebody a cone or a cup. And I think that's how I would handle it. Obviously, if the use changes, they'd have to apply for a change of tenancy, and zoning would look at that again.
And we wouldn't have any objection to there being a condition of approval that provides that we can only sell ice cream, or so something that's accessory to ice cream.
Correct.
Okay. Well,
that's all my questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Burnett. Mr. Huber, I see you're very relaxed. Do you have any questions?
Me, no. I have no questions.
All right.
Maybe hit them all.
I would ask you about Nutella versus chocolate, but it's okay. Committeeman Kaiser?
Chocolate over Nutella, and no, this seems like a straightforward application.
Yep. And I've been in there a bunch of times, and I've never encountered a parking thing. Sometimes I'm a cowboy and I'll park in 2 spots because there's plenty of parking back there. So I'm not necessarily worried about the parking, but let's open it up. I do see some, there's public questions in there, but rather than take the public questions, let's open it up to the public. I think it's from Ms. Martinez in 18 Oakland Avenue. But at this time, let's open this meeting up to the public. Anyone that wishes to speak for about 3 to 4 minutes, please come and we can answer some of your questions. I see 3 people from the public on. Apu, if you would have them raise their hands and then they can ask questions.
Hey there, have my Q&A questions disappeared now that I'm a panelist, or do I have to restate them?
Yeah, I would restate them just so it's on the record. If you could state I see your name in Oakland Avenue. Just say it for the record so that way the attorney has a record of it.
Alexa Martinez, 18 Oakland Ave. So my first question is, if the parking variance relief is granted, how does the town plan to address overflow in front of residential areas?
So I'll start with that and then Mr. Disco take it. So now there's no huge demand for parking in that site. Could it spill over into, whether it's Oakland or, maybe even across the street at the gas station or so forth? Quite possible. I know that the township committee regulates the time of when people can park on the streets. And I think yours is just like my street is open where anyone can park other than 2 to 6 p.m. So
correct, which would be irrelevant to the hours of operation.
Yes.
So just food for thought here. I've had 5 cars parked in front of my house all day, of which I still have a vehicle parked in front of my driveway, blocking my driveway by about 6 inches, and that's been here all day. So that's first and foremost. So to say that there's no overflow is a little bit of a miss. I don't know if the analysis was as thorough as we want it to be. So my second question. So that said, there's many safety concerns, vehicle abandonment, which I'm living in real time, and driveway obstruction that surround residential lots bordering commercial. There's also already overflow from the surrounding businesses. So my question number 1, it's a 2-parter. 1A is, does the town have any plan to rezone the surrounding street parking, i.e. line spaces, time limit parking, to alleviate the concerns I just mentioned? And the second part, 1B, is how many of these surrounding businesses in this intersection have been granted parking variance relief? Because we do see this overflow all the time.
So I know that I've been on this board for almost 2 decades. There's no other parking variances relief on that area. I mean, there's that huge parking lot that used to be for the post offices, and now it's those businesses there that are there. There's no parking variances on those sites. As far as, and I hate to say this because I'm going through something right now where someone tells me it's not me and go to someone else. The planning board does not regulate the parking on residential streets or commercials.
So this is a new, unique, and uncharted territory with the development surge that's going on in the suburbs of New Jersey. How do you plan to address the zoning around parking around residential lots that surround commercial businesses?
Unfortunately, it's the township committee that regulates. They work with the police on Title 39. The planning board only can request Title 39, and which is where the police can ticket and do everything. We don't have it. We can't impose hours on the streets for residents, because then it actually poses a lot of problems where then if we say you can't park here, there's permit parking, who has the permit, people getting tickets. So it's something that the township committee will have to look at if this becomes an issue. And if someone's blocking your driveway, I would just contact the police and they should be ticketing.
I have, and it's a matter of no one wants to be the jerk that writes a ticket for 6 inches blocking a driveway, because I wouldn't want to be that jerk. But all things considered, and I understand, I can gather that you would know what I mean by that. It's been documented. So that was question number 3. So my last question for you guys is a little bit unrelated. Parking barricades. I would respectfully ask that the town subsidize concrete barricades at the top of each space that face my lot, because there have been many instances, right? Kaiser can attest to that because he's resided at 18 Oakland Ave for the majority of his life, where cars actually physically drive into the fence. I have pictures where it's compromised my property boundary. So I would hope that the town can help him if he cannot install those, but that should be mandated from a safety concern perspective with the increased traffic.
So, Mr. Disco, what have you seen? What are your thoughts as our engineer? And what is your advice to the board and thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, there was a lot there. I'll try to address most of those. As far as people parking on the street, obviously, if it's permitted to park on the street, people can park on the street. I thought I heard there that they've been there all day. I'd find a hard time believing that somebody who just went in for a scoop of ice cream parked there all day. So it may be
They
somebody
like,
else on this.
So my point being, there
they
you
like
go.
Nutella, that's why they're there all day.
This is a problem, right? If there's no regulation with hours of operation or street parking permit time limits, if you expect increased commercial traffic in residential areas, this needs to be addressed. It's been here since prior to 10 a.m. today. I have no idea whose vehicle this is. It could be a bomb for all we know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's a rental to top it off. So
That seems to be a police matter. That's a Maryland plate, looks like. I don't know what to offer on that. I can only offer what we provided here, which is 2 tables of parking data, the historical parking data from 1995 through 2025, based upon Google Aerial, about how that site has operated over the last 30 years.
Exactly, a 30-year, hang on, the 30-year difference is not going to be, that data is not relevant to today's circumstances between population increase and the amount of commercial business that's increased in this area. So
Okay.
what is the
didn't get a
town's plan
chance to
address?
finish though. So then we also had the parking data, 9 observations since May, at various times, various days. There's 17 parking spaces in the lot. And again, my observations, I can only give you the facts as I see them. The most we've recorded is 10 cars in the lot. That was on a Wednesday at 2:25. Another Wednesday at 10:30 in the morning, we had 9. A Monday at 12:05, we had 8. So far since May, when we started looking at the lot, there's been parking available. I can't tell any of the board members if people are visiting the ice cream store or any of the other users there. That's been a site that has not changed externally in terms of a site plan before this board in probably decades. I can't tell
You have about 20 small businesses in this immediate 1,000 square foot space. There will be overflow if we start granting parking relief variances.
And
Mr. Chairman,
there's a certain gray area.
Mr. Chairman, this really does not pertain to this application.
It most certainly does. It most certainly does.
If the resident has this issue, which I see a car out there, that's certainly not our issue. There is a different board that this can be taken to. We, Ms. Martinez, have absolutely no authority over parking and over what you were asking us for. And I would encourage you to go to the township committee and speak with them. All we can do is look at this particular property, and we can make suggestions as to keep this particular property safe and in compliance with our land use ordinances.
Okay, so let's focus on the parking barricades then. So
And you were over the 5-minute time that we allow for residents to ask questions.
So I still didn't get
I would politely ask you to yield at this point.
I'm going to ask you to address my parking barricade question. It's a safety concern as it relates to that lot that we are speaking about.
Okay, so let's end this part. The board will take that into consideration. We thank you for pointing that out, Ms. Martinez.
Any other members of the public wish to speak on this application? So I'm reading her question and I, it says, I'll read it to the board so that way we can just discuss it as our part with Mr. Disco. I respectfully request the town to subsidize barricades in the front of the space on the lot of Albert Giulio. It is a safety concern where there's several occasions where people have been parking and running through the fence and ending up in, I guess, her backyard, compromising her property with boundaries and her family's safety. So Mr. Disco, can you give us an idea? I mean, has this been an issue? And so forth?
I can't offer any insight as to whether this is happening or not happening. It's never been brought to my attention before. I think the property owner would probably be the one who would be most concerned about it if the fence is getting taken down repeatedly. Obviously, there's no site changes proposed. There's no expansion of the footprint of the building. The building's been there, I presume, decades. It's the same parking pattern that's been there historically. I can't comment whether the fence has been taken down by cars. That seems to be certain driver problems rather than the uses of the tenants in there historically. So I don't know what more I can offer on that.
I mean, we do, so let's look at the bagel store across the street. You know, I mean, people park along the residential, people in the back. Do we have bollards there?
I'm not aware of bollards, but I can't tell you every site along Mountain Avenue, whether they have bollards or not. I think my hunch is that most of the sites do not have bollards. I'm thinking where TD is, I mean, it's up against the post office there. I think there's just a fence. I could be wrong. Where the bagel store is adjacent to the residential property, I don't believe there's a bollard there.
I park at Halo in the back and there's no ballard there, and that's a residential property. So maybe what we'll do is maybe what we can do is through the attorney and the applicant, make sure that they make them aware of this concern that we had from a neighbor. So that way they can look into seeing what they can do to potentially cure this issue or not, or determine if it's an issue. Because ultimately, if someone drives through it, it's going to become on both the driver and the owner. So
yeah, again, there's no site changes proposed. So again, we're just making sure that ingress egress to the site is safe. That's the driveway from South Springfield Avenue, and there's no changes proposed for that.
Perfect. Okay. Any other members of the public wish to speak on this application? Seeing none, I'm going to close the matter to the public and remand it back to the board. I just want to poll the board. The only condition that I brought up was cleaning the trash or garbage or whatever it is alongside of the property within 30 days. Let me pull the board. Mr. Wishna, anything else?
Nope, nothing else.
Mrs. Kessel?
Nope.
I don't think Mr. Huber had anything. Mr. Huber?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. Mr. Cedarquist?
No, I have nothing.
Mr. Barnett?
Just reminding the other conditions was that the variance goes with the tenant, and they agreed to only having ice cream,
Ice cream, water,
Right. So I think those are three. I think those are three conditions, right?
Yeah, and that the site comes back to us for any approval with.
Sure, right.
With anything, committee. Cool.
No,
and that Nutella is popular.
No.
I think that'll lose in there. As a historic resident of 18 Oakland, it is my. I think I have the expertise and the historic knowledge to say that I've never witnessed a car go from that property onto 18 Oakland Avenue. So that would be my testimony to that. As I think I was asked that question during public comment.
Yep.
No further things. I think thank you for coming to Springfield and another business hopeful success.
Okay, I have no questions. The only thing I'll say is that if the board votes to approve seating, it's 7:03. I'm sure by 7:05 there'll be 8 seats putting up there so people can sit down and enjoy ice cream. So seeing none, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve this application with the 3 conditions: the garbage being removed, the variance runs with the tenant, we keep jurisdiction over the site, and
the ice cream.
And that ice cream like food is sold like water, things like that. And if there's any concerns, the board will direct it to the TRC to make the jurisdiction. So the board, so this way it doesn't potentially have to come back to us if they end up selling, flavored water versus whatever, that the TRC will keep the jurisdiction of to make sure if there's some sort of issue that comes up.
Can we just expand it to beverages? Beverages. Okay.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I believe the language that was used was ice cream or accessories to ice cream. I'm not sure if that still covers the intent behind it, and if you guys are amenable to that.
I think that's fine. I think ultimately the board would defer to the TRC.
Okay.
Determine if I don't know. Let's say that they have flavored water or they end up selling diet soda or something. I don't know who drinks soda with ice cream, but if that happens. The same along, they're not going to be putting pizza there, complementing ice cream, I think is what the thing is. So with that, can I have a motion to approve the application as outlined?
So moved. She got it.
Okay, who seconded it?
Second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Vice Chair Kessel,
Yes.
Mayor Huber,
Yes.
Miniman Kaiser,
Yes.
Mr. Barnett,
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist,
Yes.
Mr. Wishna,
Yes.
and Chairman Tiger.
Yes, with the note that Intel is not good. For some
Thank
people, coconut ice cream is. Okay, well, great. Thank you very much.
Coconut.
Good luck, and I hope you guys do really well in Springfield.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, everybody.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you.
Before the public that wish to speak on any new business before this board, any business before this board. Seeing none, I'm going to close this matter of the public and remand it back to the board. Ms. Law, I believe our next meeting is September 8th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so as of now, our meeting is September 8th. It should stay that way, but if it changes, we'll let everyone know. But it is an in-person meeting at Town Hall, September 8th at 6:30 in the Town Hall courtroom. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Any seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, everyone have a good night. Thank you guys for joining. Enjoy the rest
Bye,
of your
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
you too. Thanks. Bye.